What's up everybody, welcome back to another stretch series, and today we're going to be covering our shoulders. We're going to be going into a routine to cover shoulder flexion, extension, internal rotation, external rotation, and we'll work on the thoracic spine as well. All you need for today is two towels rolled together, or you can use yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, just use the towel. Shower towel, two shower towels rolled together. What we're going to do, we're going to start with the simple wrist rocks, just to warm up those wrists, because we're going to be using them in a second. And rock the other way. We're going to go into the extension for the wrists, just to warm them up a little bit, so rocking backwards and forwards. "20 rocks will be enough. Perfect. Alright, so what we're going to be doing to start with, we're going to be going into an exercise which is called tabletop rocks, and you want your fingers to be pointing back. Alright, if this is too much on your bicep, you can point your fingers pointing to the side. Okay, so we're going to be rocking from this position to here. Okay, so important to engage your glutes at the top and get your shoulder blades retracted back. Okay, we're going to be doing 30 reps in total. Okay, here we go. To go. Very good guys, 10 reps. Time. Okay, we're feeling the wrists and opening throughout our chest. Okay, and from here on we're going to be going into a seated shoulder extension. So you want to just bring your hands back behind you and bend your knees, retract your shoulders back and extend your legs forward. Okay, if you're feeling it in your biceps, then just go back a little bit more from where you came from. Okay, I'm going to be holding this position for about 90 seconds. Once you're feeling like you've loosened up a little bit, then you can just push a little bit further out. Again, if you're feeling it in your bicep, push back to where you came from. Connect to your breath through your nose into your belly. Push out a little bit more if you can. Seconds. And slowly come out of the stretch. Okay, so that's your shoulder extension. So now you're gonna need your towel, and we're gonna be placing it between our scapula. So right in the middle in our upper back. Okay, and we're going to be going through the thoracic release. So you're going to be tucking and opening the shoulders towards the floor. And open, close, open, close. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if this is too easy, then you can get a block and simply put your towel on the block and repeat the process. Make sure your hips are on the ground, interlock your fingers behind your head, and repeat the process. So open and close. Five, and 1, and just hold this position. More seconds. Come out. All right. How was that? So really important to understand the connection between the thoracic and your also subscapular. So not only we want our spine to open up a little bit, so getting that spine to move in the opposite way compared to rounding, but there's only a certain way of flexibility that we can get into that thoracic due to the vertebrae bones stacking over each other, hence why we want that shoulder to be mobile in the subscap to release. So really important movements like shoulder flexion exercises like up dog, down dog is really good for that. But for now, we first gonna go into a massive trap stretch. So in order for us to get into this stretch, we want to be lying down on our back, and from here we're gonna go into a inverted position like so. You can keep your knees bent in this position. Five, 4, 3, 2, and slowly come out of the stretch. So sometimes it's difficult to breathe in this position and the trap stretch, so just stay in this position for as many seconds as you can handle. So sometimes a hold between 60 seconds to 2 minutes is a good duration of time. So from here we're gonna go into a corkscrew rotation. So this is more of a twisting stretch. So what you want to be doing is your toes should be touching together, your knees apart, and you're going to tuck under with one arm and the second arm is going to push into the floor. Okay, we're going to be holding this stretch, and if you wish you can bring that second arm up if your chest and pecs allow you to go into that position. So it looks like this. So you're going to tuck under and look up to the ceiling. If your arm allows you to lift it up, you can lift that second arm up and stretch to get that further contraction in the back shoulder. Switch your sides. First, get into the position, look up to the ceiling, push into the floor, and if you're comfortable, you can bring that second arm up. stretch. Beautiful. So for me, my right pec is a lot tighter, so it's a lot harder for me to rotate into that second side. So pay attention to where your tightness is. Maybe roll out in that area with a lacrosse ball or a big mobility ball into that pec minor and pec major to get that release, temporary release, so that you can get into the better stretch. Now we're going to be using the towel again. You can put it on either the blocks or elevate it into something. So it's going to look like this, and we're going to be doing shoulder flexion stretch. We're going to be placing the hands on top of the towel. Make sure your knees and hips are in line, and eye gaze forward and holding this position, focusing on the breath through the belly, and try not to posterior tilt your pelvis. Tuck it under and just hold this position. Every time you breathe out, try to sink a little bit lower. Slowly come out. So again, finding your own limitations and what position do you really need to work on, and good time to work on the stretch is 2 minutes. Otherwise, if you're finding holding a position for 2 minutes is too long, again break it down into 4 30-second holds. At least you accumulated for 2 minutes. Okay. And from here we're going to go into a butcher's block, which is going to be just on our elbows. So it's going to look like this. Again, placing your elbows instead of the palms on the towel, and then you're going to feed your head through and allow yourself to stretch out while clasping your hands together. Let's hold this position for 30 breaths in and out. Alright, how was that? Definitely felt it. And yeah, it's really good to work on the shoulder flexion, especially if you want to get that arm behind your ears and get that military press or handstand position. So now we're going to be going into internal rotation in the shoulder. So from here, you're going to get into a comfortable 90-90, so 90 degrees, tuck your shoulder under, and then you're going to be testing where your internal rotation in the shoulder is. So for me, active is about here, which is pretty poor, and for muscle ups and everything else this is what's necessary, especially bar muscle ups. Okay, so we're going to be doing rails and PAILS, which is a technique that we use for contractions, which is stand for regressive angular isometric loading and progressive angular isometric loading. So from here, we're just going to gently push on the arm, and we're going to be holding for 20 seconds. Going to contract and push against the palm pushing into the arm, and arm pushing into the palm. So contracting all the muscles for 20 seconds. And relax, okay? And just push your arm down, and then you're going to swap your arm and go under, and then you're going to contract this way for 20 seconds, pushing into the arm, contracting all the muscles. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Now you can feel like then the arm can go a little bit lower, and now you can stretch it out for another 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're going to put pressure and contract all the muscles, pushing against the palm for 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax and swap your hand under, and you're going to press down into the palm, contracting all the muscles for 20 seconds. In the opposite direction, pushing down, finding the strength in the gained range of motion that we just had for about 10 to 15 degrees. Just managed to increase that load, so we want to strengthen that position by pushing down into the arm and relax. And now what you'll find is that you can go a little bit deeper and stretch that arm further for another 20 seconds. And contract for 20 seconds by pushing into the arm. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, and now final pressing, 20 seconds. and 1, and what you'll see is touching the ground. Okay, so repeat the same process on the other side. Find your comfortable position. Again, test it. So for me, this is the max that I can go, and you're going to be stretching by pressing down and just stretch it. No contraction yet. 20 seconds. Contract by pushing down. Relax, swap the hand under and press. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax and stretch the arm a little bit further. And contract. And relax. Place the hand underneath and contract and push down for 20 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Relax and pressure down. Push against and contract. Relax and replace under and contract, pushing the hand down, strengthening the increased range of motion. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, retest and can go down a little bit further. Okay, that's your internal rotation of the shoulder, which is really important as well as all the other movements like flexion, extension. Okay, for this one here, we're going to be tucking under. So this is a prone posterior shoulder stretch, and then you're going to be using a yoga block or your towel to contract against and work on the external rotation of the shoulder. So we're going to be using the right leg off to the side and then right arm tucking underneath. We're going to hold this position. come out of the stretch and lie down with your arms 90 degrees. What you're going to be doing is that you're going to be placing the hand in the external rotation position, so we can bring our arm towards the ceiling and contract the muscles. So you might get a little bit of a cramp in your back shoulder, and you're going to contract for 20 seconds, elevating the arm off the towel. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, and go. Relax and change to the other side. Three, 2, 1, and go. And tuck under with the left. If this is too much, just keep your hand in front and then eventually go down a little bit lower. Okay, repeat the process. 20-second elevation with the hand in external rotation. 3, 2, 1, and elevate. If the arm doesn't elevate off the towel, that is okay. You just need to contract and feel the contraction. Even if the arm is still on the towel and you feel that contraction going on in the back shoulder, that is perfectly fine. You just have to work with what you got, and then eventually a little bit more. But as the days go by and you work on the external rotation, you can elevate a little bit higher and then work on that stretch a little bit more. So there it is. We just covered extension, shoulder flexion, internal rotation, external rotation, corkscrew rotation, thoracic, and feeling nice and limber through the shoulders, and it feels nice and open. So here we go. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, if you want me to cover any other stretches for any particular parts. So yeah, see you guys next time.